Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Feltyrosa deck profile for Post-Festival Booster 2023. This is the deck that I was most excited about updating with the newest support for Lyrical Monasterio from the Festival Booster 2023. This support all comes in the form of the new Rondo of Plenilune Feltyrosa, a new grade 3 for the deck that also still counts as Rondo of Eventide Moon Feltyrosa during this fight. It's also regarded as the specified card, giving you more playstyle for a much more pressured Feltyrosa attack style, just like how the original deck was meant to do, but with the new grade 3 with added drive plus power and also power to your front row. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck. For our starter, we have Admired Dear Sister, Feltyrosa. The standard when wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Beautiful Day Off, Feltyrosa. When wrote upon, you can Soul Blast 1, choose up to 1 ghost from your drop zone, put into your hand. So we have plenty of ghost units in the deck. We even have our Sentinel, which was released in the second Lyrical Monasterio set, for our Lyrical Monasterio Sentinel to use and add back potentially, but there are plenty of other ghost cards, Feltyrosa being the only non-ghost since she is a vampire. Our grade 2 is Talent of Enjoyment, Feltyrosa. When wrote upon, reveal a ghost normal unit from your hand, put it on top of your deck, choose a ghost from your drop zone, and put it into your hand. So then you have more add back for the ghost, but also setting up the top card of your deck with a ghost unit as well. And then also, our main grade 3 is Rondo of Plenilune, Feltyrosa. Along with the copy that we are running in the ride deck, we are also running 3 additional copies of this card in the main deck for the Persona Ride Power. As I said before, with Dress Up, Rondo of Eventide Moon, Feltyrosa. During this fight, this card is also regarded as the specified card. And on the Vanguard Circle during your turn, if your soul has a grade 3 card with Feltyrosa in its card name, all of your front row ghosts get plus 10,000 power. So this adds to the pressure that those ghost units can now attack with on top of the Persona Ride Power you can potentially get when you ride on top of another copy of this card. And on the Vanguard Circle, once per turn, you can counterblast 1, and until end of turn, this unit gets the Vanguard ability once per turn when your drive check reveals a ghost normal unit or a grade 3 card with Feltyrosa in its card name. You may call that card to an open rear. If you called a card, this unit gets drive plus 1 until end of that battle. And then this activates twice. So as you can see, the red text is in between until end of turn. This unit gets, and then that ability twice. So you can do this twice for those counterblasts, being able to then have the additional power for this card and that once per turn option for the plus 1 power and then the additional drive check power that you can get off of this card, just calling out those other units onto the field and setting up more of your grade ghosts on the field to attack with. So then you can have your multiple attacks for this unit on top of the drive plus 1 to give you the additional drive check power to hopefully at least also go into some of the triggers you need. We're also running 4 copies of Rondo of Eventide Moon, Feltyrosa. It helps with the additional drive check power, but you also have this card regarded as the Rondo of Plenilune, Feltyrosa, and you can set this card up in your soul with some of the other cards we run on the deck. So a faster way to set up the Feltyrosa cards in your soul would be with some of our other cards like our Wraith of Embrace, Bettina, being able to set up the soul with some of the other grade 3 Feltyrosas that we may have in our drop zone as well. But still, you have the open drive check power of this card if need be, but you're going to want to stay on your newest form, Rondo of Plenilune, Feltyrosa, for the majority of your plays. And I also run 4 copies of the Capriccio of Circulating Star Ingrid, another great backup grade 3. When placed on rear other than from hand, you countercharge 1, choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this one, and stand it. So if you call this out and you already had another grade 1 on the rear that boosted the unit beforehand, you can at least restand that unit to then be able to boost the grade 3 you have on the field as well. And also you'll have your power from your Rondo of Plenilune Feltyrosa, giving it plus 10, making it a 23k power on its own. And when this unit attacks, it gets plus 5,000 till end of battle. And at the end of that battle, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So this can be a card that attacks, and then placing it on the bottom of the deck clears your way for you then to drive check and reveal other ghost units to call out onto the field. For the potential other grade 3s you could run, I know we got the new Over Trigger grade 3 in the Festival Booster set. If you wanted to play that, you could mix around some of your numbers with the other Feltyrosa, or take out our copy of the one grade 2 I'm running in the next lineup, which is Dedicated Serenade Eleanor, and replace it for that grade 3. That grade 3 is a ghost, so it does work in this deck off the drive check reveals, and it's good when you have the Over Trigger power, but you don't want to run too many copies of it, so at most I would say 2 numbers of that card in the deck, replacing it for the grade 2 I spoke of. Moving on to the grade 2s, I run 4 copies of the Cannon of Overlaid Spinning Dietline. When this unit is placed on rear, if Rondo of Eventide Moon Feltyrosa is on your Vanguard. Soul Blast 1, choose a ghost normal unit not named Cannon of Overlaid Spinning Dietline from your drop and call it to an open rear guard, and on rear at the end of the battle this unit attacked, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So it gives you another way to call out another open card to the field just with a Soul Blast. Choosing another ghost from your drop zone can help with the additional multiple attacks that you can do on top of your Vanguard's abilities. So Dietline definitely does help with the multiple attacks, because then depending on what you call out, you could potentially have that unit call onto the field, getting a counter charge with cards like Star Ingrid, and then placing them on the bottom of the deck when you use their own power boosts. And then I run the 2 copies of the Dedicated Serenade Eleanor. Now, this is what I said you could take out for the grade 3 Over Trigger Remove from Game grade 3 Power Booster. When your opponent gets a trigger unit, replacing this 2-copy card. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast 2, and this unit gets plus 15,000 power until end of battle. And at the end of the battle, you can put this unit on the top of your deck. So it's another setup for your drive checks to reveal with Feltyrosa, and then just call this card back onto the field. Also, thanks to its own ability, you just need more of the Soul Blasting power. That's why I'm only running 2 copies of it, and it is one of the cards you can replace for that grade 3, as I've said so many times already before. Moving on now to the grade 1s. We did get another power booster grade 2 in the set. It was a double rare. It could be another potential thing to take out for this spot if you wish. For the grade 1s, I'm running 3 of the new Night Sky Searing Divermento or Tude. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard with Feltyrosa in its card name, you can counterblast 1, put another rear guard in the same column as this into the soul, and draw 1 card. So you can make use of rear guards if you don't have the Soul Blast power, just with the boosted power of your Ortude on the rear guard to at least give you some draw power while setting up your soul for other abilities and clearing out those front row rear guards as well. I thought of running 4 of this card. If I were to do so, you can decrease the number of it for a couple more copies of the Wraith Embrace Bettina, reducing this card to 2 for a 4th copy of this grade 1. But Bettina definitely does help set up Feltyrosa into the soul faster. On rear guard, once per turn, when your other ghost is placed on rear in the same column as this unit, choose a Feltyrosa and its card name from your drop zone and put in your soul. So if you have the grade 3 Feltyrosa in your drop zone, you can then use this card when you place another ghost in the same column as this unit, and then being able to place this Feltyrosa into the soul of your main grade 3 and be set up with its own original ability before you even go into your attack step. I also run the 2 copies of Join Grasp or Nesta from the back row when your other ghost is placed on rear guard during your battle phase. Stand this unit, so it's just another restand your option with some of the other units that we play in the deck, depending on if we call them out off of the drive check, giving them a restand because we only have Ingrid for its own restand power for those units. And then lastly, for the grade 1s, 4 copies of the Ghost Sentinel Nocturne of Flickering Legacy Judith. It's a ghost normal unit. Ideally, I don't want to call out the Sentinels, but still, it's an added option over the other Sentinels that don't even have Ghost in their name. And then for the only order that I run in the deck, the 1 copy of Forbidal Surrogate. You search your deck for drop for a total of up to 2 grade 3s or grade 4 unit cards with different names. Reveal them, call all the grade 3 cards to rear, and then also with this card, put all reveal grade 4 cards into hand. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck, and you may also only search for 1 card. It's another search power because you have to search out 2 grade 3s with different names. So you could potentially call out the 2 different cards, being Feltyrosa and also Ingrid, onto the field, giving you an easy grade 3 setup with what you revealed thanks to this order on the field for you to then make use of. And then for the trigger lineup, I'm going with the 7 criticals, so 4 copies of the Precious Tune Edwig for the additional potent soul ability, and 3 copies of the Glutton Nora, just being the aesthetically fitting ghost critical trigger, along with the 4 copies of the Transparent Snowy Knight Baratois for the additional 5k shield power, and then also the 4 copies of Languide Relaxation for the ghost heal trigger. Once again, with these Lyrical Monstero decks, I do like to have them fitting with the aesthetics of the decks they're meant to be. With our over trigger, I'm trying out the new Spiritual King of Aquatics, Idostra, for the additional ability of choose a card from your drop zone, put it in your hand, and choose one of your units, and it gets critical +1 to end of turn. So if you are attacking with a unit on rear guard, if you didn't get a critical, this can at least give you an add back from your graveyard to your hand, and added pressure to that other card on top of the 100 million. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. It's really awesome setup and happy with the new results, but definitely look forward to some other Lyrical Monstero updates from the latest booster set. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.